Oh, hello. In today's video, we're going to be talking more about that rumour for the next Kill Team box, and specifically a little bit more information that's come to light that implies, maybe tangentially, that the Khorne side is going to be power armoured World Eater Marines. If you've not been following every video on the channel, you'd be like, what rumour? Next Kill Team box? What do you know? So very quickly, we've been told for a while, this is a Valrak rumour, the next Kill Team box is going to be Grey Knights versus something Khorne. So that is all the information that comes from Valrak. I believe that, for what it's worth, and I have for ages. I think Grey Knights versus something Khorne is pretty much nailed on. What I'm doing with this video today is going through some extra information that may just give us some hints and tips towards what the something Khorne might be. So let's go. I think it's going to be Marines in power armor, and it comes from this. So there's a snippet of lore from the Nachman Gauntlet Crusade supplement for Warhammer 40,000. The Bringers of Terror. World Eaters kill teams of the Void Butchers and Axes of the Forge warbands present within the southern chem hives of the Urbano Sprawl Fager. Unconfirmed reports of mass violent psychosis spreading throughout defenders and citizens alike. Loss of contact with Inquisitor Darston. So obviously this is flagged up to me because of the word kill teams. Right, that's it. That's the whole thing that we're hanging the whole video on, is those two little words, kill teams. But the Games Workshop is very weird because sometimes they just outright tell you stuff, and sometimes this will just be a nothing. This will just be, is kill team a game we make? I just thought I'd put the word kill teams in. But they talk about kill teams of the Void Butchers and the Axes of the Forge. And there's one of them fighting in Urbano Sprawl. Now, Killzone Volkers, I think, could easily represent Urbano Sprawl. I hate that. It's just one of them grim. I don't often say grim derp, but it's one of them. It's urban sprawl, and you've just sort of put an O in and run it together for some reason, to make it sound a bit more sci-fi, I guess. But yeah, so you do a bit of research on what's a Void Butcher and what's an Axe of the Forge, you look in the World Eaters Codex from 9th edition, and you find that they are distinctive warbands. So if you remember, Games Workshop, nobody does it, but Games Workshop made the interesting decision with the World Eaters, the Death Guard, the Thousand Sons, and I'm sure the Emperor's Children, when we see their codex, that, you know, they're going to have, I'll use the word chapters, obviously I don't mean chapters, they're going to have sub-armies with other paint schemes that almost nobody's going to do, right? I've never seen a Thousand Sons or a Word Bearer's army, or a World Eater's army, I keep saying Word Bearers, that's not painted in either the normal colours or the Heresy colours. Same for Death Guard, they're all either in the normal horrors colours or the Heresy colours, although it helps for Death Guard that the Heresy colours are also the colours of the Pallid Hand, I think, Warband, but sure. Anyway, so that's what these are. These are two of those sort of variant colour schemes, essentially, and it's the little bit of flavour text that you get for them. So the Void Butchers. Few World Eaters warbands are adept in Void warfare as the Void Butchers. Under the command of Seclus Mamillo, their leader for some 2 millennia, they've gone from strength to strength. The warband has embraced a savage joy in the deep intensity of boarding actions and the carnage that follows. They storm a ship, they fight with relentless momentum, giving their enemies no hope of gaining the initiative or coordinating a defence. The Void Butchers make extensive use of Ursa's claws, enormous harpoons launched from their ships. These are linked to immense chains that can fire and can retract, bringing the struck foe closer and rendering them easy to board. Once within an enemy vessel, the Void Butcher strip it of supplies and slaughter or capture all inside. Such actions have earned them not only the enmity of the Imperium, but also the Leagues of Votan and the Eldari Corsairs. The Void Butchers are particularly hated by the Rampagers and Black Templar Space Marine chapters due to Mamillo's fondness. I'm a Mamillo. Soft on the outside, crunchy. No. Anyway. Fondness for seizing prize enemy warships, fitting them with Ursus claws and turning them over to the surface of Khorne. One such vessel is the Rampager's battle barge that Mamillo renamed the Rampager, amusing himself with the irony The ship had been upgraded by its builders to have dramatically increased speed, which the Void Butchers gladly now use against their enemies. Among the other ships captured in this fashion is the Black Templar's frigate, his indomitable Wrath, whose name the Void Butchers have not changed. So, you've got a fairly generic Chaos Space Marine World Eater Warband with a slight bias towards Void Warfare. Could totally see them putting a shield on the sprue, things like that. Things that you'd want if you're boarding a Void ship. And then we've got Axes of the Forge, a fleet-based warband. Interesting, we've got another spacemen World Eaters. Eaters of Stars, if you will. A fleet-based warband, the Axes of the Forge, maintain a symbiotic relationship with the Dark Mechanicum. All the Dark Mechanicum people are going to be in the comments now saying, do you think it could be Dark Mechanicum coming? Khorne Dark Mechanicum coming for kill? It's possible, guys, right? It's not my read from what we've got, but it's possible. Dark Mechanicum cult known as the Thralls of the Eightfold Cog. In exchange for protection and technological spoils from raids, the Thralls provide their World Eaters allies with weapons, ammunition, and equipment upgrades that result from their many experiments. The Tech Magi are also skilled forgers of demon engines and Axe of the Forge, keeping them supplied with the materials necessary to produce more. The Thralls hold colonies of enslaved sorcerers and witches below decks, collars of Khorne clamped around their necks until they're needed to summon demons that will be bound within the inert engines prepared by the Tech Magi. Keeping so many psychic captives also enables the Thralls to forever develop anti-psychic technologies in which the Axe of the Forge make expensive use of. It takes more than bechained psychers to fashion demon engines, however. Bindings always require blood, and the Axe of the Forge conduct slave raids to find enough worthy souls for their Dark Mechanicum allies to sacrifice to Khorne, as well as to anoint the mechanical monstrosities kept in their infernal menageries. Menageries? Two quite different and quite generic warbands. The Void Butchers, the TLDR would be they like to do boarding actions and they're World Eaters, and the Axes of the Forge are like they quite like the Dark Mechanicum and they're some World Eaters. But the point is, if they'd name dropped one or the other, if they'd name dropped just the Axes of the Forge, we could get excited that we were getting something that was very Axes of the Forge themed, and maybe the name of the kill team would be Axes of the Forge, and they'd have all these demon weapons and stuff. But the fact that they name drop both next to that phrase kill team makes me think that we're just getting, well, let me explain what I think we're getting. I think that we're getting two fairly generic warbands, and we're going to get a fairly generic World Eater Marine unit. Yeah, we're going to get a Khorne Tactical Squad. Now, this sounds dull. I'm not sure that it is. I don't think that you want a kill team of Khorne Berserkers. Like, maybe you do, because you, like me, you don't like cognitive load, and the idea of a close combat only melee marine team sounds like fun, but I don't. That kind of team is either going to be over or under, right? An all melee marine team like that is never going to be just right? I think they're going to give us a fairly generic World Eater Marine unit. Will there be combat options? Oh, absolutely. You'll probably have at least 3 combat specialists plus your boss. I mean, Night Lords managed to have, 2 big combat guys. You're probably going to have at least 3 big combat guys. There will be a guy with a giant axe. It's a Khorne Space Marine team. But by making it not a Berserker team, you'll also be allowed to have, a guy with a plasma gun, or a guy with a melter gun, or guys with bolters if you want them, right? A sergeant with a chain axe and a plasma pistol, something like that, right? And it'll be based around, I'm guessing, and this is all hypothesis now, don't run with this has come from my brain. We saw for the Emperor's Children, I know they're not out yet, feels like we've been sitting with them a long time, they're actually not out yet, but we saw for the Emperor's Children, they got a generic Chaos Space Marine type squad, but made out of Slaneshi looking dudes, right? They got these tormentors, right? I think you're going to get the Khorne Berserker version, right? The World Eater version of Tormentors as a kill team. So you'll get a box where you can build, you you could just build a tactical squad, 8 bolt guns, a sergeant, a couple of special weapons, right? You're also going to get options probably because it's a kit with an eye on kill team, so I imagine you're going to get an option to have a guy with a big axe, let's say, or a guy with a boarding shield. You're going to have a couple of specialists in there. You probably have a banner, right? All these things. But I'm imagining that you're all going to have the option for the standard sort of Imperial special weapons and bolters and things like that, right? Tormentors, but for Khorne, and then also but for Kill Team. And maybe in the marketing for Kill Team, they'll do something really dumb and they'll paint them up in an alternative paint scheme for the Void Butchers or the Axes of the Forge, rather than as just common or garden variety World Eaters. Dyslexia sucks. It's a weird thing. So when could this be coming? It's starting to look possible that they could show the next Kill Team box off at the Warhammer World store anniversary on the 1st of March. Right? That's something that Glass Half Dead has been saying, and they have actually, now that I've checked with my brain, which wasn't remembering it properly, but they have actually done previews at the last 2 Warhammer World anniversaries and open days, right? Not usually, it has to be said, of something as big as a Kill Team box. Usually a smattering of single miniatures. But we all here expecting the box to release in March. We were all slightly flabbergasted when we learned that Kill Team wasn't being previewed at the LVO, because Adepticon is a bit late, near the end of March. If we're not getting anything till Adepticon, then, it could be shown off at Adepticon and then released a week later. But honestly, I'm starting to get that weird itch in my palms, and no one has said anything to me. This is not inside information. I'm just starting to get that feeling that maybe the influencers may already have their copies, because they haven't really been hyping it, talking about it, mentioning it, except in passing when directly questioned, speculating about the effects on the meta of 2 new Space Marine teams. Maybe they've got copies. Now that's slightly weird if true, because I think, best as I've been able to glean from the outside in the cold, where Games Workshop have left me, gazing at the entrails, okay, trying to read into the silences and the things not said. I don't think it usually gets sent out before it's been previewed. But we could now be into a place of a very fast turnaround. Games Workshop does this sometimes, where they go, bam, here's the preview, here's the release date, and you're like, wait, what? That could happen. It's possible. It's possible. What about Grey Knights? Someone's going to ask me about Grey Knights. No new information about Grey Knights whatsoever, other than Grey Knights. Just those 2 words, Grey Knights. I think it's plausible that Grey Knights will get a new Terminator kit for Kill Team, and we'll get Terminators in Kill Team. If Terminators are going to come to Kill Team, right, for any team, it should be Grey Knights. Grey Knights are the iconic Terminators. I mean, you can make an argument for Deathwing, I suppose, but Grey Knight Terminators, it rock. It comes off the thing. Grey Knight Terminators, that's what they have, that's what they do, and they send them off on their own to do things by themselves as well, right? It's the iconic Grey Knight unit. I've said this before, right? There was a huge period in 2nd edition where Terminators were the only things, 2nd and the start of 3rd, right, until the Demon Hunters book came out. Grey Knights, they had rules for Power Armor Grey Knights in Rogue Trader, I'm informed, but they never had miniatures, right? So basically, until that Demon Hunters book in 3rd edition, Grey Knights were essentially an Imperial agent. They weren't called that at the time, but it was essentially, this is a squad of Terminators that you can have in your army that will turn up in the game and help your regular Space Marines or your Imperial Guard. And I think that would be the iconic thing for them to do and go back to. Now, it's also worth saying that the rumours state the Grey Knights are not due a full range refresh, which seems insane to me, right? But we are told by Valrak that the 10th edition Grey Knight book for 40k will not be the full range refresh. It's apparently going to be some kind of upgrade sprue for the baby carrier. is going to be their big release. So to make that not be totally pathetic, right, I can understand them wanting to do a kill team with Terminators in beforehand, so at least they got some new stuff, right? Right? Also worth saying that if you care about Codex Imperial Agents for 40k, Grey Knight Terminators are a standalone thing in there as well, so it could tie in with that. So that's my current speculation and best guess, based on all the things that I've seen and heard, is that it's going to be like a 6-man power armoured Khorne squad versus probably a 5-man Grey Knight Terminator squad. Be quite interesting to see if that's how it pans out. Final thoughts. Do you have any thoughts? What do you think? Do you think it's likely? Would you welcome a Khorne 8 tactical squad? Is it a bit dull? You know? They would be quite similar to... Well, I mean, it's what we've got for the Plague Marines. They're basically a tactical squad. It's what we've got for the Night Lords. They're basically a tactical squad. So it would be another team in that mould, just with its own ploys, special rules, things like that. I must admit, it doesn't light my world on fire, because I'm not a big Khorne guy. But I think it works for Kill Team. It's not too adventurous. And at a time where they're putting in Grey Knight Terminators, which would be adventurous, maybe they'd want something a bit less adventurous to go alongside them. I would actually be really interested in it for 40k players. Especially if you play World Eaters in 40k. Said it right that time, that's good. If you play World Eaters in 40k, what do you feel about getting essentially a tactical squad, essentially Chaos Space Marines, but like slightly Khorne, like the Emperor's Children have got? I mean, it would open up some design space for maybe to make Berserkers a bit cooler, a bit better, a bit choppier, a bit more elite, right? And then you got your rank and file separately, so you can hold some objectives. Like, from me, from the outside looking in, it looks like the kind of thing that you might want, right? Some objective holders to play the game. Let me know in the comments. Do subscribe, comment, like, etc. Consider joining the Discord if you can. That'd be great. Okay. And I want to say a big thank you to all of my members, but especially to Nightfall and Samtroff, who are both subscribed at the highest tier, and will probably be glad that I've come back to do a Kill Team video after a little bit of a dalliances with another game. Alright guys, thanks. I'm actually on holiday at the moment, so I think this video is probably going to go live on Monday. Whether there's anything else that comes out this week is entirely down to how productive I am when I get up tomorrow morning before going on holiday. I have 2 more videos in here. It's whether they get from in here to out there. But right now, I'm going to go to bed. So we'll see. You'll see. You'll be lucky. Maybe. Or maybe not. All right. See you guys. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye. Cheery. Bye. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye. Goodbye.